Are you ready? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with me today. I'm going to go over a set of very tragic circumstances that occurred out in Poinciana in the area of Astor Court. I'm not going to use the victim's name. She was 33 years old and a Hispanic female. I will use the suspect's name. He was 38 years of age. His name is Jason Ramirez Comas. Jason was a former Puerto Rican police officer. He worked for the Ponce Police Department in Puerto Rico. Sometime about 10 years or so ago, there was an accidental discharge where he shot himself through the hand and hit his partner in the back, and his partner accidentally died from that shooting. Of course, an investigation was underway. In the meantime, he moved up here to the States from Puerto Rico and ultimately to this house. He called the Ponce Police Department on the telephone and quit. And as a result, he's living here, and I'm told that he was a part-time Uber driver. So there was a disturbance at the house whereby he was having a conflict with his wife. Of course, we didn't know that at the time until we got a call last night. And the call we got last night was from the grandmother of the children and the mother of the victim. The 911 call went like this, or the information we derived from the 911 call. A niece called the victim's mother and father and said, we haven't seen the victim in a couple of days. We know something's wrong. I talk to her all the time. So about midnight last night, the mother and father and which are the grandparents of the children, drive up to the house. They can't get anyone to talk to them on the phone, neither Jason or the victim. They knocked on the door. Jason called his mother-in-law and said, "Hey, give me a few minutes, and then I need you to come into the house and get the children and take them away." And during this period of time, they waited outside, entered the house. They said the house was totally dark. They made no contact with Jason or with the victim, but went to the bedroom, got the children. The children are two beautiful little girls, 3 and 7 years of age. Exited the house. Then they dialed 911. Gave us the information. Our deputies arrived, and we began to try to talk to Jason. Jason talked to us through the door. He wouldn't open the door. He told the deputies that he had shot the victim in the head. And of course, we called the SWAT team, our hostage negotiators. We talked to him both through the door and on his cell phone throughout the night. We're negotiating with him to give up. We're treating this as a hostage situation because we can't confirm that our female is deceased. The guy is very polite. As he talks to our folks, he tells them, "Look, you're my brothers in law enforcement. I would never hurt you. But if you come in the house, I'm going to kill myself." So we continue to talk to him throughout the night. And then early morning, we heard a sound that sounded like a gunshot. So we breached a window, put in a robot. We also breached the house over on the corner, and we were able to determine that he is lying in bed, dead from an apparent self-inflicted contact wound to the head. And our female victim is on the floor beside the bed, deceased as well. As you can see, our detectives and crime scene are here. It's an ongoing investigation. Certainly any information we develop later on, we will give to you, and whatever I tell you now is subject to change because this is very new information. But there is an interesting part. During this period of time, he texts the family and also sends a video clip to some family members where he is videotaping a confession, and it's easy to tell that our victim is under significant duress, where she says that she went and had pizza with a gentleman and then went to his house and engaged in sexual relations. We certainly can tell from the look on the victim's face that she was in horrible distress at that particular time and was being forced to give that quote-unquote confession. And then he takes that information, sends it to her mother and to other relatives. This is evil. It's pure evil. We have no idea other than what he said. And he said he did this because she had an extramarital affair, but they weren't married. They've been together for a significant period of time. In addition to these two children that are 3 and 7 that are biologically the suspects and our victims, there's another 17-year-old daughter by a previous marriage. She is in Puerto Rico at this time. Any other questions? That's good because I don't have any other answers. You know what I know. All right, thank you very much. Take care.
Now, So this back here, you said they breached the building. How did they do that? Can you describe that process? And I've got one related question, please.
Certainly. They breached the building with a charge. And the reason you do that, you open it up so that you can make sure that, one, you have safe entry and that our folks are not put at risk. So that's what we did. When we didn't hear from him, we didn't hear from her, then we had to enter the building. The whole idea is to breach the hole, and we breach it in such a manner that if anybody is in the room, other than being directly in front of the breach, that's why it's up high, because the statistical probabilities are people won't be there, then we can make entry without and reduce the probabilities of hurting anyone inside.
And where in the process, or when in the process, did he send the video confession to her parents?
We don't know exactly when that was, if that was after we arrived or if that was prior to our arrival. I suspect it was after we arrived because they didn't mention it to the initial deputies. But that's what the detectives will sort out later throughout the day.
Here's my own